Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. Yes, we sure are. And folks, it's so good to be back here. Uh-oh, I think we're going to have to do this old trick here again so we get back in the swing of things. I'm looking into different streaming software and things to make, life a little easier on this end here. Hello, everyone. That should cover everyone that comes. Hello, everyone. And welcome to the Truth Quest. Now, I'm going to share this out so we can get some eyes on this. I didn't make any announcements, so we're just going to go ahead and share this out really quick to my little Facebook group or page, whatever you call that thing. We are live, okay? And if you're watching this as a rerun, obviously we're not live then, but right now it's the 12th of August, 9:06 p.m. Central Time. And away we go. We're getting that loaded up there on Facebook. Facebooked all over the place. Hello, Jerry. How you doing? And Mud Rabbit. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you for stopping on in. Great to see you. That's awesome. You know what? Oh, where did it go? Where did that darn thing go? Oh, here it is. Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Someone in the chat tell me. I'm gonna throw this thing here in the old chatteroony. If I can only navigate back to it. Aha. See if that works. Folks, I have a new online store, so check it out. I got 4 exciting designs so far. And hey, Jerry. Oh no, the old update trick. Well, that's too bad. I had a PC once. I use a Mac, and they don't have to ever do that I can remember ever having to do for a Mac. But that's just me. I might be doing things differently. Who knows? So I'm pretty excited about this, friends. I'm pretty darn excited about my new channel, or my new channel, my store. So I want to show you this. I think it's pretty darn cool. Okay, so here's one of them that you can get. Now, this, of course, is the ever famous Invisimask. You may have seen it. You may have seen the semi-viral video, 2 of them, in fact. And we're probably going to make more. But the Invisimask. So now, folks, you can go on out there and wear this around. And when they say, hey, where's your mask? Point to it and say, look, this is state-of-the-art Invisimask. Of course you can't see it. So there you go. And that's why so many people are, going without masks now because they realize they have the Invisimask. So my marketing is working, it seems. Although there still are some people masking up, and I don't for the life of me understand it. But I think the word just has to get out. So if you guys can help grab one of these T-shirts and spread the word. And wow, we can make a big difference out there, waking up the normies right and left. You know, they see your T-shirt, the Invisimask, and they'll just go, "Wow, I've been hypnotized into the truth." And pretty soon, everyone, there won't be any more normies. We'll have to figure out someone else to make fun of. We don't make fun of normies because we all used to be normies, right? Am I right about that? Now, I'm going to try this too. I don't know if this is going to work. But will it show up like that? Yeah, I think this is that. Okay, try that. This is the store. How do you like that? Now, how do I get back to it? I don't know where it's going to come about here. Oh, there it is. Okay, I think I have to go like this. All right, so now I think I'll be able to scroll this and you'll be able to see this, right? Right, take a look at this. There's the 4 different designs, okay? Over here you have the Truth Quest logo, always a popular favorite. We got Meet the Grays here, just like an old album from the olden days. Here's the biggest story ever, okay? Full disclosure. And the Invisimask. So there you have it. And, you know, you got, that's the unisex tee. They got the ladies tee. All right. All reasonably priced. Look at that. That's the ladies, kids. And they come in different colors too. So each one, you know, they come in different colors. So like maybe you want to get this one in the kids, you know, because there's a lot of awakened kids out there. Oops, this just shows my special price. That's not cool. Now the secret is out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the secret's out now. But, you know, anyone can make one of these kind of stores. It's kind of cool. And it's a way to, you know, help out the store, you know. A couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, helps to pay all the bills to keep everything rolling on in, rolling on out, and rolling. So that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited to have my store. I've gone ahead and I've ordered a couple and will be wearing them. And, you know, I'll let you know what the quality's like. It looks like my products are being printed now. So we'll see how they look when they come on through. And so that's the name of that tune. So how do you like that? Well, there you go, and there you have it. So, yeah, let's check out the old Chatteroony here. Clear mask for facial expressions. Yeah, that's why I invented the Invisimask. Okay, Jerry, you know, I get all my Macs used, okay? And you can find used Macs, and they're great, you know. If you have a university in your area, you know, every couple of years or so, they switch out all their computers and they, you know, they return the computers back to the original, you know, and they update the operating system if it needs to be, and then they sell them for way cheap. But I got in fact, the one I'm doing this on, I got from Newegg out in California. I highly recommend them. So you can get a used iMac, and it's cheap, under a couple $100, and they put a new operating system on it. It's great. I mean, you know, maybe they could, you know, sponsor the show. I would definitely take them on as a sponsor because they have good products, and yeah, it's very, very cool. So get yourself a Mac. They're cheaper than you think. Just have to hunt around. It's not going to be new, but you know what? It'll be just like new. And so that's the name of that tune. Beatles haircuts on the Grays. Yeah, that would be kind of cute. Yeah, that would be kind of cute. The Beatles. Yeah, they were quite a sensation, weren't they? Yeah, I think they're going to make it. I got money on that young group from Liverpool. I think they're going to make it big. Yes, that's my prediction. I think I'm pretty safe with that prediction, don't you think? Have you all heard anything about disclosure? And any suggestions on who you think I should have as a guest? So we'll get your suggestions. Who should I have on as a guest? You know, I'm getting all kinds of, making all kinds of, what's new with Andrew? Well, Andrew is taking this time to focus on the books that he's working on, that he's finishing up, and he's going to be on my show here once a month, every first Sunday, and the first one will be on the 5th, I believe. So watch for that. And so on the 5th, tune in for that, definitely. And get the latest update on where everything's at and how Andy's doing, and all the updates that we need to get up to date on, and all the information, the fantastic information that he's been putting out, and that we covered a lot of, and more to come. Every month we're going to be doing this show, and it'll be great. And we're going to focus more on his, I believe, well, on his experiences and everything that he's been through. Just some fantastic stuff. And, you know, when you're dealing with, you know, sensitive information like he's dealing with, it's, you know, it's kind of touchy sometimes. So he's a very brave guy for coming forward. And so look forward to that every first Sunday here in Truth Quest. We're going to have Andrew DiPasciago, and you're going to be asking some very interesting questions and getting some very interesting answers as usual. Very detailed answers, and yeah, you know, I think he's the most credentialed and of all the truth movement people, and also he's, you know, got the most, you know, corroborators, people who've come forward to say, yeah, I was in the program with him. This is what we did. You know, it's of course they're doing something. They're spending trillions a year, right? Trillions and trillions a year. So they got to be doing something with that, right? That is right. Yes. Yes, indeed. And we're not falling for that. How is the sound doing today? I rigged something up here, and I'm not sure how it's affecting the sound. So if it sounds okay in the chat, let me know in the chat. If it sounds muffled, let me know. I maybe can fix it. just let me know in the chat. And everything else like that. You know, when this whole Tic Tac video came out, I don't know, about a year ago, I just was rolling my eyes the whole time thinking, okay, this is going to be they're going to talk about this for the next 50 years. And we're still going to get nowhere. You know, of course, you know, I'm a little cynical sometimes, but well, I guess it's hard not to be, right? When you've been led to believe something for quite a long time, and then it doesn't quite come to fruition over and over and over again, you know, you kind of lose faith in the latest and greatest thing, right? Yes. And I gotta punch this in. A little bit of clerical work here. So, yes, away we go here. Now, and you know, one person I really want to have back on the show is Leslie Kane. I interviewed her years ago on my Blog Talk Radio show, and she did a great book. I've mentioned it on here before. It's called UFOs, Pilots, Generals, Government Officials Go on the Record. It's a great book. And she's also did a book about spirituality, I believe, too. So that sounds pretty darn interesting. I'd like to probably talk to her about that as well. But yeah, so that's pretty darn cool. Let's check the board here. Perfect sound. Oh, that's good. Thanks. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate that. Okay, Linda Moulton Howe had some nice YouTube vids, Antarctica. Yeah, you know, yeah, I don't know. Linda Moulton Howe? I don't know. Okay. Looking forward to Corey Good. Yes, Mud Rabbit, so am I. I'm looking forward to Corey Good. As soon as he's done with this symposium that he's doing, this very cool Ascension thing that they're doing at, I could have gone there, but and I would have been like a journalist there. But lo and behold, I would need a camera. So my video camera is not, it's broken. So I don't have a video camera anymore. One of the things I'm looking for. But, so that would have been cool. And I could have done a lot of interviews and whatnot. And, you know, all that kind of fun stuff, right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to Corey. If you have any questions that you want to ask Corey or Andy, let me know. And, you know, he keeps giving updates. Now, Corey is like, they're up to like 106, page 106 of the 120-page comic book or graphic novel that they're doing. Steven Cefalo and a couple other great artists are helping him out to finish this thing off. 120 pages is no small feat, friends. And they're up to page 106 with sketches, with about 20 more to color and about, you know, a few more to do the sketches on. So it's looking really good. It should be wrapping up very shortly. It's a great thing. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. Keep your pre-order in so that you can. I got my pre-order in. They give you, a PDF of the work in progress, and then you get the book sent to you when it's done. So that'll be very, very cool. They've been working on that for a long time. And I've had Steven Cefalo on the show. So if you scroll back, you can watch it, timeless interviews here on Truth Quest. You can go back and watch all of them. They all are relevant all the time. And so, yeah, he's a great artist. And Corey's lucky to have found him, or they found each other. And yeah, graphic novels. And they were, more than halfway done. And then they had to scrap all that and start all over because they switched the writers, and the writer was doing it differently. So they were able to salvage some of the pages, but they had to redo the lion's share of it. So that, that put a wrench in it, but it's a better story now. It's a better flowing story. So yeah, when you go and buy a comic book, you're not realizing the incredible amount of work that went into that. I mean, you look at you got the pencil artist, you got the inker, the ink artist, you have the colorist, you have the letterist, the letterer, and it's a whole team of people that work on this thing to get it going. And there's this group called Wonder Funders, and they do kind of crowd-based comic book sort of thing. If you're interested, go check that out. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. I'm working on a little graphic novel of my own here, and I think I told you all about that. It's a time-traveling saga. Yes, and time-traveling saga. Oh, I know what we can talk about here. Oops, click that off. Here's someone I want to have on as a guest. Tell me what you think about this. We're going to put the word out there. Attention, because there's no other way that I know of besides telepathic to get a hold of this gentle being. Where is he? There he is. Can you imagine this? Okay, coming up, folks. Yes, soon to appear, hopefully, on Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. Skinny Bob. Yes, this is an open invitation to Skinny Bob. We know that you are, monitoring our airwaves. We know that you can see this right now, Skinny Bob. And we heard that you're a really nice guy, according to Bernie Mendez. And you're the only alien that can come and go as they please because you're such a nice guy. So I'm sure you won't pass up this interview request to be interviewed exclusively on Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. Of course, the extraterrestrials' favorite podcast, I'm sure. And we'll ask very respectful questions and hopefully get some nice telepathic responses. So, open invitation. If anybody knows how to get a hold of Mr. Bob, or if he goes by Skinny, or I guess that's what they call him, Skinny Bob. But a real alien, according to Bernie Mendez, he knows him. He's a real nice guy, this guy. And of course, this footage and this photograph is from the footage that was leaked by someone in the KGB, allegedly. very convincing footage, and convincing enough for Bernie to recognize this gentle being as being Skinny Bob. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, look at the hands. I mean, and he blinks. So these aren't just blackened eyes. He has eyes with eyelids, but they're just kind of sunk in a little bit. So yeah, very, very curious. So looking forward to one day having Skinny Bob on. Wouldn't that be fantastic, folks? I mean, can you imagine Skinny Bob on the Truth Quest? Yeah. Unbelievable, huh? Well, it's quite something else, I'd say. Quite something else, yes. And I guess let's share this on out to my page. And we'll see. So I'm so happy that I finally do have a store for merchandise. I'll be adding more designs. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But I had a Teespring account and they deleted my stores. I had like 3 stores on there and they deleted them and they wouldn't put them back. So I'm done with them. We're on this new, it's called Store Frontier, and great looking stuff, super looking stuff. And yeah, oh, here is a picture of all of the teas on the, get rid of this. And we gotta go over here. So confusing. Okay, I'm getting it all together, folks. Hang with me there. Alrighty then. Now here are the some of the designs that, and in each one, you know, you can have different colors. You can have, you know, choice of like, I think 3 different colors for each design. So, so audience, which one do you like the best? Oh, we got a little thing over here just appeared there. I'll have to figure out how to get rid of that before I use that for something. So is it the Grays, the Invisimask, biggest story ever, or the Truth Quest Q logo? Kind of like the tie-dye. It's pretty special. Love it. Loving it. McLovin' it. Oh yeah. McLovin' it. Oh yeah, baby. That's the name of that tune. How do you like them apples? You like the hoodie, bottom second from the right. Oh yeah, that is a pretty cool one. Yeah, those shirts look good. Thanks, Jerry. Hey, Tony. UFO Pirate 17. Yeah, the whole opposite of MSM. Isn't that the truth, buddy? Yeah. Ain't it the truth? If you see it on the MSM, it's not true. But if you can imagine it, it's probably true. Anything but what you hear. Oh, Tony. Truth Quest tank top, but in a tie-dye. I don't think a tank top comes in a tie-dye. Yeah, Jerry says the Invisimask is the most unique. Thanks. I have some other designs too that I'm thinking about putting up there. I don't know. What do you guys think about memes? Would you wear a meme shirt? Are memes something you would wear? Tie-dye second. Because I got some memes, let me tell you. I'll show you one of my favorite memes. It was one of my first memes. And where did it go? Well, one of my first memes, where did it go? Oh my goodness. Oh, I know. I don't have to search like that. I have a little window. Oh, yes. Well, there we go. It's my Snopes. My good old-fashioned Snopes meme. There it is. You ever wonder what Snopes stands for? Well, Snopes. Superficial, nonsensical opinions of people employed by Soros. I don't know. Would that make an okay shirt? I'd probably have to redo the type. It looks a little pixelated. I have to redo that whole thing. That wouldn't be too hard to do. But what do you think? Would you wear something like that? I don't know. It's just a meme. Just a meme. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, I did a meme about the show, The View, but I don't want to make a t-shirt and have those people on it, you know? You know what I mean? But, and I probably showed this before too, but I'm gonna like show it again because there might be a few new people out there that haven't seen one of my favorite memes that I made a long time ago. And let's see. The dog's going crazy out there. Oh boy. Alrighty then, we'll do the old screen share again. And here we go. This is now, you know how important rebranding is when you rebrand a show with a new name? Look at that. We've rebranded our show with a new name that reflects the size of our remaining audience, the few. So it was The View. Now it's The Few because there's so few people watching. Yeah, isn't that good? So I love that one. It took me quite a while to do that, to match all of these gradients and can I put that to change that around like that? But it was worth it. I think I like it. But I wouldn't want to have them on a t-shirt that I'm selling. You know what I mean? Now they don't need any more exposure. So, but they're okay for a meme. So that's the only reason I'm glad they're still on the air, because I can still use that meme. See, you gotta squeeze every little bit of use out of these memes because you never know, they might be obsolete one day and you can't use them anymore. Maybe for reminiscing, you know, looking in the past. Like in the old days, you look to the old, you know, photo album. Now we're gonna be looking at old YouTube videos, right? Reminiscing. Oh, remember when we used to watch Truth Quest? That crazy guy, Aaron. Remember that guy? What happened to him? Oh yeah, aliens came and took him away. Remember that? I don't remember that. Maybe that's who I should have my show. My little brother. He claims that he and I saw a UFO together when we were kids. I don't remember it. I do not remember it. That's something I definitely would remember. I don't know why that would be. He swears up and down. It's like he believes it. I believe that he does believe it. I'm not discounting his belief of that. he probably did see something, but I don't remember it. Right over Lake Minnetonka in Mound, Minnesota. So it looked like an upside down helicopter, silent, just floating there. Well, for one thing, an upside down helicopter looks like a helicopter. I would have remembered that. You know, I don't know if he's just a kid remembering, that's the only thing he could think of. But I guess I got to question him a little more, have him on. Maybe he'll come on the show, maybe not. Come on the show, Craig. Craig Moriarity. You're welcome to come and talk about your sighting where you claim that I was there. And maybe we're on different timelines now. Maybe I jumped to a different timeline. I don't know. You know? You never know. You know, I escaped death a few times. And, you know, maybe in other timelines, I'm not there. I got lucky on this timeline. Got really lucky. Let me see. I got to check this chat again. Boom, like that. Okay. All right. Looks like everyone's keeping comfy in the old chat. And I'm really happy. Like I said, I'm happy that everyone's really, you know, appreciating and loving their Invisimask. And oh, you know what else, friends, is I don't know if you saw my brother's garage or not, but he's got this garage, and it's, well, let me see. I wonder if I could isolate this. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to close this in so there's no ads and stuff on the side. Will it do that for me? Trying to get this so it's just the video, folks. Okay. Now I'm going to try and get this over here. All right, I think we're going to do it here. Let's give this a shot. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try and play a video. Here we go. And this is Mark's Garage 2.5. And I'm just going to play it here without the music. Well, maybe we'll put the music on. I can't really hear it. Oh, I know why. Okay, there's the Corvette, his Corvette. That's my mom. That truck he was selling. This green car is amazing. It's got asymmetrical designed interior. These are custom cars from the 50s and 60s that he's collected and refurbished a lot of them and built a couple of them. This is one that he did not build. It's a famous car. There's my brother Mark and my son AJ on the right, Aaron. My brother Mark again walking 61 Chevy there. He's got these red translucent hubcaps. This is a 55 Chevy. It was customized in 1956, I believe. It's got 3 carburetors there. He's pointing out all the various finer points of the engine detail there. There's the front end of this custom car. The door opens kind of automatically. The whole thing is electronic, built in 1961. all those toggle switches, open the door and the chair swivels. This truck, he just sold it. So we were waiting for the guy to come and pick it up actually. There's Mark showing there's nothing under those seats. They're just held up. You put things underneath them. There's a drawing of the Futurian that was in like a Car Craft magazine, one of these car magazines. Of course, the walls of his garage are just as interesting as what's on the floor of the garage. And this is an old model kit, and they made a life-size version of that car, and it toured the circuit. And there's the car, and there's the head that went inside it by the original artist. And that's the only of the 4 cars that they built that's left. This little mini bike is the fastest thing he owns. It's a very fast car. These are the Batmobile and the Ford Futura, which the Batmobile was built from. The large models. This is, of course, a Schwinn. His 40 Ford, the Cadillac engine. And that's his Futurian, which is in the house. My son, Aaron. In the background, the yellow car is the Carcraft Dream Rod. There's the Futurian that Mark designed and built himself. Look at those taillights. There's the Dream Rod. Mark refurbished that Dream Rod. Someone had cobbled it into something else. He had to take it all apart and bring it all back to its original luster. Very incredible. He built this from scratch. It's an exact duplicate of Ed Roth's Outlaw. That's also in his house. Now, in order for the cars to be in the house, there can never be any gas in them. Now, any one of these cars would start up if you put gas in them, but they're not built to be started and driven around. They're built as show cars, and that's why he has them in his house. And then here's some details about the Futurian. And there it is. It's quite something else. And Big Daddy Roth knew about it, and it had his complete, had his approval, pre-approval. So very cool. Yes, he's got a museum for a garage and a museum for a house. Quite a lucky guy. And wow. So that's that. So you can find some other little videos. I have 2 other videos, my brother's garage, on my channel. Go ahead and we're gonna stop sharing that. We don't need to see the ad, do we now? All righty then. Well, isn't that Marvy? Oh, UFO Pirate 17, you had an encounter when you're around 6-ish, lasted about 17 seconds of actual time. I dreamt about it every night till about 16, 18 years old, over and over till then. Thoughts, Aaron? Interesting. You should call in. In fact, let me see. Let's see if this will work here. Yeah, call in UFO Pirate 17. Let's hear about your experience. Sounds interesting. Drinking a little coffee tonight. How you like that? Say, I was thinking about putting some of these characters in my store. Would you like those? Those are the love bugs. Those are my characters too. You know, we're trying to get to a higher vibration. You know, maybe the love bugs can help us get there. You think? Do you think I should put these guys on there? Part of the truth quest about love. In love with that pickup? Yeah, it's like we said before, it's sold though. I think you mentioned that before. Yeah. Oh, he had to do a lot of work to that thing to get it working right. So yeah, let me know what you think. Well, let me check the old queue and see if anyone's called in. Feel free to call in if you want and chat about whatever you want to chat about. How's that sound? All righty then. Oh, yeah, okay. It was short, was beyond important to me, but it was not much. Well, you know what? If it's enough to, tip you over the edge of, belief, not belief, but knowing. So you know it. You don't just believe it. You can't just believe something that you know. And if you know something, it's more than just a belief. It's beyond that. It was a solid gold figure. Solid gold figure. Wow. Was the figure like moving around or? Okay, I got to keep an eye on this chat here. Make sure. I don't want someone waiting a long time. So juggling screens here. All right. Yeah, I had a reoccurring dream all my life. I haven't had it for a while, but all my life, different times in my life, I've had this dream, and it was really just it was actually just a memory. It was like a dream. It was like a memory that got pulled into my dream. So it's like reliving an old memory. It's really quite cool. It was like the best day of my life. And I was a little kid. And we lived in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. And now I don't know how old I was. I was pretty young. I was like 3 maybe, or 4 or something. Pretty young. And I remember we were going outside and we were going to a neighbor's house, just a few little ways away. We walked and it was like a beautiful day. It was a beautiful summer day, beautiful. And you could smell lilacs. I mean, in the dream, all the smells. And it was like, and there was a light breeze. It was like the perfect temperature. And there was this light breeze and this wonderful smell of spring flowers, and especially like this overwhelming lilacs. Love that smell. And then we got to the neighbor's house, and there was a couple kids, 2 or 3 kids in this little inflatable, double or triple bubble inflatable round swimming pool in someone's front yard, inflatable thing. And I got in that pool because I was in my trunks. And I remember sitting in that pool with like 2 or 3 other kids, thinking to myself, this is like the best day of my life. I mean, what could be better? I'm in a pool with other kids. It's a great day. Everyone's happy. The smells, everything. So that was it. And I would have this dream over and over and over again throughout my life. I'd have this reoccurring sweet little memory of that perfect day. Isn't that just wonderful? Wow, Jane, that sounds interesting. Okay, so you got a Zoom account. So now you go and you click on let me see if I can put it in here again. Yeah, you just click on click on that Zoom link there. That should, the underlined part, should get you there. And I gotta watch that to make sure you come in. I get you on there. So you've never done this before. Yeah, it's not that hard, but it takes a while. And when you get on there, you're gonna want to mute the stream that you're listening to the show on and just listen through the Zoom. And on the bottom left-hand corner, if you move your mouse around on the picture of yourself from your camera, you'll see a little a microphone to the left. And if it has like the cross out thing, just click on it and then you'll have the microphone working. So that's how you do that. So hopefully that by the time you get to that point, you'll be able to hear this. The love bugs seem most kids marketable. Oh, thanks. Yeah, also a sweetheart gift, you know, for Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's kind of what I created them for. They live in Valentine Valley. And they're just all really nice. The love bugs. They'll give you hugs. Because they're the love bugs. Yeah. I did a very short video with the love bugs. I don't know if you want to see that or not, but it's on my Facebook page, my Hot Games and Puzzles Facebook page under videos. You can click on the video section and you'll be able to find it, okay? Right. All right. You don't need to write it down. Are you on your phone or are you on a confuser? I'm on my confuser, but I guess you can do it from your phone too. Can you advertise them in your new book? Yeah, I suppose I could. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Sure can. Okay, we're still waiting on UFO Pirate 17. It's a cool name, UFO Pirate 17. I like the number. So yeah. All right. So yeah, Corey Good should be coming on. Maybe we'll give him a little while after his big event. And, you know, it takes a while to unwind from a big thing like that. Passcode doesn't work. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. Let me check something. Thanks, Rat. He's a nice guy, but he's a rat. Watch out. Just kidding, Rat. Rat X. So, this isn't it. La, da, 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 da. No, coming. I think this is it. This isn't it. If I close this, I'm not sure if I'll lose that. Yeah, passcode doesn't work. Okay. I don't know. Is that it? That might not be it, huh? Let me check something. Something's weird here. I think I might have two of them open. Is this what I have? Oh, brother. No, I don't think so. I don't think I have another one. It should be the right one. I mean, it's the only one that is showing up. Let's see. Going to try it again. Be right back. Okay. All right, dude. Yes, Tony. Yes, Andrew is okay. He's, he's dealing with a lot of things right now, and he's, pushing forward with his 300 chapter book, and hopefully, and his other books that he's working on. So, and he's written many books over the years. Didn't work again? Oh my goodness. Well, that's just something else, isn't it? Huh. I'm clicking on Zoom. It's clicking on this. Let me see here. Security? Chat? Maybe I have to have the chat open. I don't see anything else that I can do here other than just yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry that it's not working. You know, I changed the title of the show right before I went on, so maybe that screwed something up. That might have screwed something up. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. It would help if I had a tech director. If you know someone who's a tech director, let me know. He's calling in now. Okay. Let's see if he comes in calling. Yeah, there's a number you can call. Let's try. You know, but if the passcode's not working, the numbers aren't going to work either. Right? Oh wait. Here's something else. Try this. Maybe this is the thing. Why didn't I see that before? Try that. Maybe that'll work. No worries, UFO pirate. This kind of stuff happens. It's for anyone over the age of 12, it's confusing, okay? Other than that, young kids, they know all this computer stuff for some reason. I don't know, they're born already knowing it for some reason. See if that latest thing will help you out there. I don't know. Let me go back and check the queue. Aha! RadX, my old buddy, the man from the year of the rat, the illustrious, the enigmatic, whatever that means, RadX. Welcome to the show. And he's getting his audio together there. So if you haven't gone on over and checked out RadX, you got to go check his stuff out. This guy's onto something. He's the only guy on it, right? Because he's the only one that needs to be on it because he's doing such a good job. Talking about the 1972, 2020.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Mr. Rat, there he is.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
So, to the guy UFO that's trying to call in, it's that so that he knows that the passcode is I think it's like that S. I can't see the chat right now. Hold on. It's that S. It's 8S6 something ZWH, but it's case sensitive. So for him to put in the passcode, that's the passcode he needs to put in. Okay. And it's case sensitive. The S needs to be a little S, and then it needs to be a capital Z, and it needs to be a capital W and a capital H. And that's why he's having a hard time getting on.
All right. Well, thanks. Boy, I ran into another anomaly about 1972 now. I can't remember what the heck it was, but I think I screenshotted it. Let me run through my screenshots and see if I can magically find it. Have you made any more discoveries? I'm sure you have.
Well, people aren't going to believe this, but it doesn't really matter because all you got to do is look up the evidence. But 9/11 could have been stopped. If we would have known the code of 1972 and we'd have been able to decipher all the stuff that happened in 1972, we would have known that 9/11 was going to happen. It was already pre-written in the year 1972, and I can prove that. Just give me 1 second here. Let me grab my papers because I know most of it offhand, but I want to make sure I get all the information for you guys.
Sure.
Just give me like 1 minute here. And same thing with the COVID. All this stuff is it was all pre-planned from 1972. It's an inevitable thing.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but also, Andrew was shown a picture, actually of a video loop footage of a plane hitting the Twin Towers in 1971 before they were built. Well, they were being built. They knew the exact date and time that it was going to be hit. So the fact that someone in the secret government knew as far back as 71 before they were even built that they were going to get hit on that day at that time. They had proof. So
yeah, but that doesn't help us that somebody else saw a video or something. What I'm presenting is to look at the evidence that anybody can research. You don't have to rely on somebody else telling you what they saw, but every single person listening right now could look up the evidence. Hold on 1 second. I'm almost in my notes.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
that they've known before then.
They've known. So the fact that they knew, or some elements of our secret government or our military government knew that this was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and they didn't evacuate. So they are complicit in this by not warning people and just letting it happen.
Yeah.
And that's the other danger of keeping things too secret. A few key people die, and then the secret's lost. So we need to know everything. Full disclosure. That's why we call it full disclosure all the time.
Yeah. See, most of you probably don't. Most of the people listening probably don't know what happened with me. So I'll share that real briefly because I know you guys. It seems like everybody's more interested in hearing about my alien experience, and then when they hear what type of alien it is, they get that whole stay away from me because that's demonic. Even though there's no evidence or proof of anything what they're talking about. That stuff. But for me to share what happened to me in 2017, the same year that Oumuamua came here into our galaxy. It's if you guys don't know what it is, look it up. Oumuamua. It was an interstellar object that came. That's a cigar-shaped object that came from the Lyra constellation of all constellations. It came here in 2017. That same year, we had a eclipse that was a rare eclipse that went from coast to coast that we haven't had in, I don't know, like 80 years or something like that or whatever. The same year in 2017, Lou Elizondo, by the way, I'm pretty sure was born in 1972. Lou Elizondo came out and shared all this information, this disclosure that, and so that's another thing too, like when people get upset because we're not getting enough disclosure, people can't handle really what they really are asking for. They literally can't handle it. They are giving you disclosure. Since Roswell, New Mexico, people have been pushing and leaning on the government to give out disclosure, and the government has always denied it. Yeah. And in 2017, they finally come out and say, here's some evidence. Yeah, we are seeing, and it's just not enough. And people just bitching and complaining. It's like, man, that's a step forward. It's like they didn't have to say anything. But also too, like if you listen to like some of these other talk show hosts and stuff, they say, why in 2017 did they finally come out and talk about that? Well, I can tell you why in 2017, and I can show you evidence of it. Oumuamua is one of the big reasons why. In 2017, that interstellar object was the first interstellar object to come from another constellation into our constellation that we've been able to observe with modern science. I need to point that out.
Yeah.
That was the first time that there was anything that came here was in 2017. So they were already getting forced and nudged to open the door. It doesn't really matter. The veil is going to be forced open. America is the last one who wants, this country is the last country in the world that wants disclosure. It is the very last country, because I just was watching a special that was on, I just watched a special yesterday about Australia, and they're doing their full disclosure. And they were talking about how there was a school there where all these kids or something saw at a schoolhouse saw this UFO, and these teachers, and they saw this, and they said the Americans came there and was trying to shut everybody up. Why is our country going around the world and trying to cover up UFO stuff all around the world?
Yeah.
People don't look at that.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you. I think that we are more than ready. The people who aren't ready will never be ready, and we can't wait for them. When automobiles started to come on the scene, there was a big uproar. All the carriage makers and the liveries and the horse people said, you're going to drive us out of business. We can't have those mechanical horses. They're scaring all the horses off the roads. And if we would have listened to that, we would still be driving horses and carriages. But you cannot stop. You can't stop progress by clinging on to the past. It's way past due for full disclosure. What I'm showing on the screen now, by the way, you might not be able to see.
I agree with its full. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have full disclosure. What I am saying is that
people are ready. People are ready. There are more people ready than not. So we've had like 20 years of ancient aliens. That's plenty enough indoctrination. That if they're not ready yet, that what can I say? Do
you remember before we went to Iraq and went into war and everybody was flying the flags and everybody was hurrahing to go into Iraq?
No, I never. No.
I remember that clearly.
I was screaming at the sky
to stop. Yeah, don't go.
Angry that we're going to war. I'm always against war. Now, what I'm showing to on the screen is from 1972. It's a line drawing of about kind of a sinister looking hypodermic needle with a flute and a bunch of happy kids following it.
Yeah.
So, and now I've done some research on it. It turns out it's like a promo piece for the polio vaccine. But if you look
because 1972 predicted that COVID was going to hit, and I can share with you guys the evidence that lines up with a picture that you're showing. That's important evidence, because in 1972, the biological, toxic, and chemical weapons ban was signed to stop mass producing biological chemical warfare. They were trying to stop that in 1972. And what is China accused of right now? Biological chemical warfare, correct? Well, in 1972, Richard Nixon was the very first president in the United States to ever step foot on Chinese soil in 1972. And anybody can look this up. In 1972, Richard Nixon invites the China to the New World Order.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is what I share with everybody. It's all evidence. It's all facts. It's all evidence. The first recombinant DNA was created in 1972. And we talked about that the other day. You know, that they were able, in 1972, they were able to figure out how to tear DNA apart and sneak something new into that DNA. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's go back to biological chemicals. Ban that happened. Let's go back to welcoming China to the New World Order. In 1972, Pfizer hit $1 billion for the very first time in history. $1 billion in 1972, which is the same year that we were off the gold standard. It doesn't even make sense that they would hit $1 billion in the year that the dollar was completely unstable, because the year before that, 1971, we were still on the gold and silver
standard.
Yes, and at the end of 1971, Richard Nixon took us off that standard and put us on the fiat currency, but that did not run until the year 1972. It was a whole new currency in 1972. But yet Pfizer hits $1 billion. Now remember, that all adds up with everything else that I just talked about. Also, in 1972, the FDA establishes the over-the-counter drug review. So before 1972, when you got pills, over-the-counter pills, they could have all kinds of stuff in there. You wouldn't know what was in it. Go all the way back to what I just said about recombinant DNA. Go back to biological chemical warfare. Go back to all those things. All this stuff adds up. In 1972, Anthony Fauci's career began.
Yeah.
He's America's doctor. His career began, and in his words, anybody can look this up. In his words, Anthony Fauci says, in 1972, when my career began, I was there for the beginning of the AIDS epidemic or whatever.
Yeah.
What would that be called? Epidemic?
Yeah, well, yeah. And he was rightfully accused by many for killing a lot of people for that AZT, that experimental drug that killed a lot of people.
Yeah, in 1972, that's the same year, exactly what you're saying. Then the same year in 1972, the Tuskegee experiments was exposed in 1972, which they were, the CDC and the public health services were allowing them to experiment on minorities. All this stuff, if you guys add up all that stuff in 1972, everything I just said, Fauci, experimenting on Americans, recombinant DNA, the picture that you just showed with sneaking in the needle. And if all of that's not enough for you guys, if you guys don't understand preemptive programming, if all that's not enough, the CIA ended a program in the year 1972, a spy program called Corona. Put all that stuff together. What do you got? You got preemptive programming for what has just happened, what happened in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also brought up the thing that they couldn't tax healthcare until the year 1972.
Yep, you couldn't profit off of healthcare until 1972. Nixon, Tricky Dicky signed that into law. Now, healthcare can be for profit. Before that, you could not make a profit in healthcare. So thanks to Tricky Dicky. I'm going to share the old screen here again and show you, I think this was either the thumbnail or the alternate thumbnail I had for the show I did with you, Rat X and 1010.
Oh, there you go.
So there he is in his ninja garb. Look at this guy. This guy's he's like a superhero, dude.
Yeah, I have right after, so before 9/11 happened, I was a professional skateboarder. I skated for 4 companies, Sector 9, SRH, Stoneheads, and Salty Dog. I was skating for 4 companies, and I went and skated in the Warped Tour. I played when Sum 41, I skated when Sum 41 was playing right across from me in the 2001 Warped Tour here in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
And then not long after that, 9/11 happened. And when 9/11 happened, that changed my whole life. So I said, you know what? I've never lost a fight. I've been in a lot of fights in my life. You know, being on the street a lot and being a skateboarder, you're going to run into a lot of jerks and you're going to get into fist fights anyhow. It just kind of
Yeah.
goes with the nature. But I decided that after 9/11, you know, immediately I was like, I'm going to get into martial arts because I want to learn more than just how to just knock somebody out. I want to learn how to control the whole room. And you actually learn that when you get really deep into martial arts. So now I have a 4th degree in Taekwondo, which I'm actually working. I'm about to get my 5th degree, up for 5th degree in that. And I'm also up for 5th degree in Kempo Karate. I have a 4th degree in Kempo Karate, which is predominantly hands, which if you guys know anything about Elvis Presley's, his whole entire bodyguard staff was all Kempo Karate guys, and the head of his staff was the head of the Kempo Karate system, which was Ed Parker. And Ed Parker taught my sensei, Cliff Kelly. And Cliff Kelly actually, I have a whole video of him. I need to release it sometime where he talks about how he got to meet Elvis through Ed Parker and all these cool things and stuff. But so that's the history of Kempo. And the irony of the Taekwondo lineage, because I love Taekwondo because I saw this movie Best of the Best, and I just love the high flying, phenomenal kicks and stuff. I thought that was like the coolest thing in the world. So I wanted to learn that because I took boxing when I was younger. The irony of the Taekwondo is later on I found out that, you know, where Taekwondo comes from is Korea, which I speak a lot of Korean. I speak some Japanese, some Chinese, some Russian, some Macedonian. I'm learning Khmer from my friends who are from Cambodia. You know, just quite a few different languages and stuff. Some languages I don't even know the names of them. I just learn the language just to learn it. But
Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato. So I know you almost had a chance to go to Japan, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I almost got a chance to go, and
when the ninja stuff that I do is for a show, and it really wasn't for any like real ninja stuff. It was just to look like a cool ninja to do, because I would go do parades, I would do big birthday parties, I do all this stuff for, you know, all this real cool ninja stuff, you know, do flips and use all kinds of cool weapons and things with the martial arts background so deep in martial arts that it was easy to do these things. That actually got the attention of a Japanese TV station in Japan, and they actually contacted me and they wanted to do a show, a spoof comedy show of American ninja trying to teach a Japanese man how to be a ninja.
Oh, cool.
But it was part of the show. But the gag was he actually was a real ninja from a clan called the Musashi clan out of Japan. They're a very elusive, you know, ninjutsu clan. And a lot of people think that ninjas just don't exist anymore, but that's the ignorance of Americans that just don't understand that if you go to Japan and you tell them that Japanese don't exist or ninjas don't exist, they're going to laugh at you because they know that they're there. You don't learn. It's a set of skills. It's not a bloodline of people. It's a set of skills, and sets of skills don't really like those type of sets of skills don't go away. In fact, every single military in the world still studies ninja tactics, that same type of ninja tactics. They all do it. You know, we have it with the Navy SEALs do it, the Green Berets, But go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. If a ninja is doing his job right, you won't know where he is.
Exactly. That's like, the whole thing. That's the reason why people think that there's no such thing as ninjas. But that's the whole thing. It makes a lot of sense. But if you look it up and you go online and you look up the Edo or what's the two clans? There's two main clans. It's the I can't think of them right now. But anyhow, so when the ninjas came here and we did the television show with them, we got a 10.4 rating. It was the highest rating in Japan. Wow. I ended up getting a big Japanese following, and some people followed us from over in other countries and stuff. They said they saw the show and they loved it. It was a very heartwarming show at the end. But the biggest part that I got from that, you know, was I didn't really care as much about doing, you know, I did care about doing the show, but the biggest thing that I benefited from that was I actually got to learn from a real ninja master who was in the Musashi clan, who was Oshi, who was actually here, who we did the show with. And he took me aside and he taught me some stuff, and then we stayed in contact for a while. So I actually, and if you go to the Musashi clan and you go into their, if you're able to meet with them and you're able to go into their school, you'll see my uniform with my logo hanging up in their school, and you'll see the bow and arrow that we gave them that's hanging up in the school over there as well.
Very cool.
Which is cool stuff. But I don't really, typically I don't talk about myself and all those things. This is like a lot of stuff people haven't heard before. I usually, because it's really the evidence and the stuff that I'm sharing with everybody is about things that are important for you guys to understand what's happened to you, that there's definitely been a block put in the humans' minds, that's stopping them from seeing it. Like I share this evidence and people look at it and it's always like, they look at, they go, yeah, there is something going on there, but then it just stops right there for them because something has happened in the humans look, here's the thing. Like if you believe that aliens are able to travel across space and time, okay, if they're able to open wormholes, travel through space and time, and they have the technology to control time, then 1972 is your fingerprint. But it's not that hard to put blocks in humans' minds. In fact, if you go and you look at the old Sumerian tablets, they show them holding the pineal glands. Mm-hmm. That means that they tampered with humans' minds. They've been tampering with your brains for a very long time. I would not have known any of this, guys, if it wasn't for what happened to me in 2017. I was born in the year 1972. So that's the anomaly, that I didn't even know anything about this in my entire life, ever.
You were very, very young at the time.
In 2017?
When you were born. Very young.
So anyhow, that's a good one. So, but anyhow, so if you look at the fact that if it wasn't for what happened in 2017, so that people, in case you guys don't know, I was in my school because a lot of martial arts school owners, they actually live in their schools. I was sleeping in I went to the gym. I got done teaching class. I went to the gym. Everything was like a normal day. Everything was, there was nothing out of the ordinary. And I typically don't go to sleep at 8 o'clock. In fact, when I come back from the gym, I'm usually invigorated and generated, and I'm ready to go. And I have YouTube videos where I would show me, working out in the gym and teaching people how to do martial arts workouts in the gym. So I was very, very fit, and that was just my life. I came back to the school. I drank my protein shake, and all of a sudden, like right before I drank my protein shake, before I even drank the shake, when I got to the school, I automatically started feeling like I was starting to get real tired. Like the moment I walked into the door and I got there, it was weird because I started feeling like I was tired. So I turned on my TV, turn on my computer, make my shake. And I was just thinking, I'm wore out. And I'm like, I don't know why. And I remember specifically saying, I don't know why I'm so tired. But I'm like, I'll just lay down and take a nap for a little bit. So I lay down, guys, and I didn't wake up until 3 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up because I heard a rustling sound, like something walking through some grass or something. And it's inside of a karate school. There's nothing like that around there. And so I woke up and I didn't see anything. Once I got up, there was nothing, like I didn't see any beings or anything there. But I got up and I noticed that there was some dirt on my floor, but I really wasn't paying attention to the dirt. Now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking up. I'm groggy. I'm not really paying attention to the dirt all that much. I just thought that's where there's some dirt on my floor. I got my sword with me because I always sleep with my swords near me. I'm a martial artist is what I do. I live martial arts. My life has been nothing but martial arts up until 2017. Wow. So I get up with my sword. By the way, I have a black belt in a sword fighting art called Koryo Gumdo. So I literally train I'm a serious trainer. So I go to the back door that leads into the rest of the building. Now there's no grass or no dirt or anything like that around this building. So I didn't even put the 2 and 2 together. Like there's not even that type of dirt. It's not even around this place. So I go through the rest of the building, just, checking it out on the other side of the building to see if there's anything there. Anybody like maybe broke in or something on the other side. Now on my side, I have ADT and I have my alarm system set to my side of the building only, which I set before I went to sleep, and I lock my doors, and the door in the back where the footprints came from, that door, and I show in a video how you can't get through that door. It's like a padlock type lock. It's not just, a handle lock. It's a padlock lock, bolt lock on my side. So you have to kick the door open to get through. In fact, I put a SI through there. Usually, you guys know what that is. If you watch Ninja Turtles, what a SI is, it's the best way, or Electra. I put a SI in there is what I usually put in there to keep it, But anyhow, so I go down this dark hallway, which I've done, a few times before in the past, because sometimes I may hear like a noise and I just go check it out. And I'm going through there and I don't see anything. I got my sword with me, whatever. And then I come back and I shut the door, I lock it, I turn my alarm back on, and I walk around these footprints on my floor, these dirty footprints, which, by the way, guys, I have video of the footprints and the marks on the wall. And you cannot recreate these footprints because they're double layered. It's very weird. It's very weird how there's a double layered thing. So I kind of walk around this dirt and I'm thinking that's just odd. But I lay down, I put on TV again, I lay down, and I'm just tired. So I'm just like, I'm going to go to sleep. So I go back to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and as I'm walking back by the footprints in the morning, I'm looking, I'm like, this is not normal. This is weird. This is really weird. So I go to the bathroom, which is on the other side of the building, by the way. And then, I have to turn off the alarm, unlock the door, go to the other side of the building, go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and then I come back through and I look at these prints and I look at them real good. I'm like, and they're shaped like a V, like it's a V shape. I'm like, this is really bizarre. So I'm like, this is not, it's the type of thing that when you see something like that, and I try running through all kinds of scenarios in my head, how can this happen? First of all, nobody's going to sneak into karate school with some master in there with a sword sleeping next to them. That's first, number one. And all the time that I've had my schools, because this is my I'm on my 5th school now, and all the time I have my schools, I've never had anybody ever break in. On top of it, I always have like an ADT. And I also show my bill, guys, so you can see my bill for ADT and everything. So I start investigating more, and I call my ex-wife while we were separated at the time, and I told her, I said, you got to get over here. You got to see this. And she's like, what? She's like, I got to work. And I was like, no, you need to get over here and come see this. So she rushed over and she came there and looked at it. And also one of my students who was not supposed to be there stopped by and said, oh, I thought that we were going to be training this morning. I said, no, we're not training this morning. And I didn't want to tell anybody, but since he popped up, I'm like, but come here and you got to keep your mouth shut and don't ever say anything about this. So he came in and looked at it, and we're all three of us sat there and we're just we couldn't figure it out. And we're like, this is, at first, guys, I literally was, my mind was spinning. I had no idea what the hell was going on. And there was marks on the wall. So we're investigating the latch on the door and the alarm. And we realized that there's marks on the inside of the door jamb. And on the other side of the door, there's marks over there too. And for the longest time, for 3 years, I had no idea where those marks came from. I understood the footprints were a being that walked through the school, that walked through the door, like literally teleported through the door. And you can see where the marks walk around my combat Bob, which is a dummy, that's a stand-up dummy. They walk, you can see how the stride of the steps walk around it. And then you can see where the 2 feet footprints sit side by side. In other words, it walked around the dummy and then it stopped in place. And I don't know how long this being stood there and watched me while I slept. But here's something else I want people to understand. When you hear a lot of this crap where people are talking about how they're fighting aliens and stuff like that, first of all, let me tell you how powerful these beings' minds are. They can knock you out and not even be in the room that you're in. They can shut your brain down like that. All of your brains, I don't care how intelligent you think you are, there has been tampering by aliens that tampered with humans' minds to set up switches in your mind to shut you down. If you've ever went to the doctors and you ever had surgery and you ever had before you do surgery and they give you the shot and it knocks you out, that's what it was like for me. But it was just like kind of like a slow, like within, I think by the time I got back to my school, it was like 5 minutes and I was out. So they don't even have to stand in the room with you. So if you're going to, and they can already predict what you're about to do, especially beings like the Draconians, they know what you're going to do before you do it. So if you have intentions that, oh, I'm going to grab my gun and shoot them, they're going to shut your ass down and you're knocked out. They'll knock out the whole damn room. They say that the Greys can do this too, like there's two types of the main Greys. There's like the ones that are kind of like the robot drone ones that aren't really alive, and there's the other ones that are like the alpha Greys, who are like the ones who actually made those Greys. And those Greys, if you listen to a man named Jim Sparks, he said that when that Grey comes to you and they're talking, they only talk telepathy to you, and it tells you to do something, and if you don't do it, he says that it bogs your brain down to the point to where you just break and you do. And that's how powerful these beings are. And the kicker is, most of the humans probably have the same abilities. You all probably can do the same things. Well, telepathy works throughout the entire animal kingdom.
Right.
And most likely it works. Humans can do it too, but your minds have been blocked.
Right.
Been blocked. That's okay. Go ahead.
Yes. And what I do to trip them up, and maybe you can do this too, audience, feel free to do it. Always fill your mind with nonsensical weirdness like dad jokes and things like this. That'll confuse the hell out of them. They won't know what you're going to do next. And there you go. You confused them. Just like on Monty Python, Confuse a Cat. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a great skit. So this woman has this cat up in a tree. So normally what, you call the fire department, right? No, you call Confuse a Cat. So they call this company Confuse a Cat. They come with this big truck and they assemble this stage. It takes them a long time. And then they perform these skits where people disappear and odd things happen. And the cat gets confused and just comes down. Confuse a cat. So confuse an alien. Just fill your mind. Okay, fill your mind with strange thoughts. They won't know how to control you because you're one of these weirdos thinking strange thoughts. So I think there's simple ways to get around some of these things. And you know, as terrible as these beings are said to be, you know, I think if we dwell too much on the negatives, you know, it can bring us all down too. So we need to think of ways to, you know, combat some of this stuff. I know you said there's nothing you can do, but you know, together I think we can all do something.
Hold on, wait a minute. What you're confusing when I'm saying there's nothing you can do. When you're talking, when you're going into combative mode and thinking about getting your gun and shooting them, I'm saying that they can shut you down before you get to that point.
Right. So
that's
maybe
not what I wasn't saying that they just come to you just to shut you down, just to do harmful things to you. Because
so maybe
go ahead.
Maybe when you're running for the gun, you're thinking, okay, now I'm going to think about, you know, how to make scrambled eggs or something like that, and kind of cloud your mind with other thoughts as you're doing the
Why do you need to go get a gun? There's these beings can come from, they can travel through interdimensional.
Hey,
okay, go ahead.
Situation that you presented. I was just going with that.
Oh, yeah. You don't look, if they wanted to wipe out the humans, they could easily do that by nudging a asteroid towards Earth.
Yeah,
they could do it by wiping us out with the same thing that they would. Yeah, they're doing what they're doing what they're supposed to do for some of the beings. Now there's beings out there that don't like humans at all, you know.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm showing
something Batman.
That's Timax. That's me in my Timax suit.
Oh yeah.
And this is the movie that you know what, Rat, I'm going to be looking for someone with ninja skills. So to be in this movie. So I might be giving you a call. You might have to put on one of these suits and you know, do some of your cool ninja movements. What do you think about that? There's
oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Did you actually make that?
I made it in one night. One night I made that suit. And that same night, we also shot our footage too, that we were going to present to Ridley Scott. However, my boss prevented that from happening because he didn't like it. So.
Yeah, look, I know a lot of people don't want to hear a message what I got to say. Most people, they tune me out. They don't want to hear it. They don't care. They want to hear all the other, the glorious stuff. Look, it's supposed to be that way. That's part of what I've been trying to tell people about their minds being blocked. I give them the evidence. It's like, has anybody produced the dollar from 1972 yet?
No, I haven't found one yet. All right, let me check. Let me check my wallet.
Doesn't exist.
I'm going to check my wallet right now.
And when I tell people about that in 1972 was supposed to be a whole new currency, but yet you can't find any, I don't mean coins, but any paper dollars that were created in 1972. I get people all the time that try to tell me, oh yeah, there's dollars. And I say, okay, well, prove it.
They burn them.
Prove it.
They burn them after a while. They get so worn, they burn them all.
Then why does my mother have silver certificates from 1971 and earlier?
That's because you save
no.
them. If they're in if they're in circulation, that that's what they do. I got one from
I get that, but here's
2009 is the oldest one I have. 2009.
Yeah, you see, I mean, nobody really wants to hear what I got to say, but yeah. So here's what I can tell you guys. The currency changed in 1972. You're telling me not one collector nobody decided to say, hey, there's going to be a whole new currency. It's not going to be redeemable in gold anymore. It's going to be new. Nobody would save those new prints of those new dollars that came out in that year. I don't buy that because I still have a food stamp from back. I literally have a paper food stamp that I can show that when they said they were taking everybody off of paper food stamps and going over to, now mind you, I was like 19, 20 years old, and I was like, I'm going to keep this food stamp. So, and they went over to the EBT cards or whatever. And I still have that paper, $1 paper food stamp. And so I looked it up to see on YouTube or on not YouTube, but on eBay and stuff to see if there's anybody else that has paper food stamps to see how much these things go for. And lo and behold, there's a lot of paper food stamps that people have that they saved because they knew that they were getting rid of all the paper food stamps, and people sell them online. So where's the 1972 dollars?
We're all looking for them.
Yeah, they don't exist, but nobody really cares.
Well, I've been looking. I've been also, keeping my eye out for different things since 1972. Like I said, I just ran across another one. I can't seem to find it now. It was some reference about something that happened in 1972. And something was brought up just recently, and I cannot for the life of me remember it. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that happened in that year. I remember that year. I was 10 years old that year. And it just seemed like the future was really starting to happen,
Yeah.
Because I was anxiously waiting for the future, still am, my whole life. So there's a picture there of me in the Max suit on Halloween at the daycare when I worked at the daycare. So that's why I came wearing that. It has a silver cape too. Can't really see it.
Yeah,
there.
You need do you got an emblem on it, like a symbol?
Yeah, it's
that's in the chest. Yeah, I see it.
Well, no, that's the time mechanism that allows the time travel. But right above the superhero jockstrap is the TM, which is the Timex logo. It's a T and an M.
Should have put an I in there. It could have been TMI.
TMI. Too much information. Too much information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a sidekick, and it could be a TMI man. You could be Time Machine Man, and then too much information man.
Here you can see the logo a little better on this one, and it is on the timepiece there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's a T and an M. Timex.
Oh, yeah, I see that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough. I'm working on a new suit now because, and also on a comic. So I'm pretty excited about it. It should be pretty cool. But yeah. That's the name of that tune. And you know, maybe Radix will be. Maybe I can talk him into doing a cameo. You know, I'm going to need someone to play the bad guy.
You know, last time I was offered, and I have you know, like I don't really talk about myself and all that stuff that I've done, but you know, I did go to Burt Reynolds School for 2 years down in South Florida. And when I went to LA and learned how to do script writing and stuff and wrote my own script and went back to Florida to shoot the show that we were going to shoot, I have a picture with all my entire cast of people, and you can see Jim Carrey's stunt double who was there. You can see Burt Reynolds' acting coach who was there, the South Florida School of Acting, the head acting coach also was there. These are all people who signed up on the project to do the project. In fact, they all signed the contract agreements and everything. But anyhow, go ahead.
Did you? I mean, did they teach you how to grow a real, you know, authentic? What's that guy's name that you just mentioned?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds' mustache. Did they tell you how to grow one of those?
In his acting school, he has it's also his museum too, and there's a big stage in there. It's not there anymore. They just tore it down not too long ago, and then he died actually like a few years after that. But his car was in there. The Smokey and the Bandit car was in there, and there was just like the football was in there. It was a really, really cool place to learn. Very hard acting school to go to because my peers in there, because it was pretty much improv comedy. And those people in there were just hardcore, man. They were just hardcore comedians. They do a lot of stand-up. Some of them are famous now, you know, just really fun experience, but really hard. And I've seen a lot of people go in there and think they want to be an actor, and they get up on that stage in front of all these like serious actors and comedians and stuff, and they just break out and sweat because you get that side put in front of you. You only get like, you know, 10 minutes to look it over, and then you got to go up on stage and perform it and bring those words and bring a character out of that page and just present it without like sitting there looking down, looking up, looking down, looking up. It's not easy. But you also want to make this character have life and not just be kind of like I see people try to rip off other people's characters from other films. It's just like, nobody's looking for that. They want your own originality.
Right.
You know, so acting is not, it's not hard for people who just are a thespian. You know what I mean? It's not hard for those people, but people who are trying to make it fit, usually are trying to do it because they want to be famous. They want these things. They're just not just trying to tell a good story and just, you know, be part of a piece of art. You know, it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen some people break, and it's sad when you see that because it's like their whole dreams just shatter right in front of them. So usually, I usually try to console them and try to, you know, to tell them, you know, it's okay, man, you know, because it's hard when you see that happen to somebody, and you get up there in front of people like that. And I performed in front of the entire Miami. There's the big Miami University. There was a massive stage there, and there was just tons of actors, and there's like this big thing where all these actors are coming there, and there's all these directors, and they were doing for different roles and stuff like that, and people had to go down there on stage, and there was hundreds and hundreds of actors and a bunch of directors and stuff. And for me, when I get in front of crowds, it's the same thing when I did skateboarding, same thing when I perform as doing my ninja shows and stuff like that. For me, in front of a crowd, I thrive off that. You know, I mean, my life's changed now. It's not like that anymore. Everything's different ever since what happened in 2017. But before 2017, I was a very popular person, you know, and I got you go in my karate school, you'll see a bunch of newspaper clippings where I was on front page of newspaper and like all this stuff, you know, and just everything changed, man. Everything changed.
Radix, now you're on the Truth Quest.
Yeah,
now you've hit the big time. Now you've hit the big time. But
wow, yeah, it feels like it. You know, I get nothing but pushback from everybody, and everything I'm doing just for people to know. And I'm sure people probably don't. They're probably sick of hearing me. Probably don't. Well, that's what I got to say. But everything I'm doing is in servitude for the human race. Literally, all this stuff that I'm doing by doing these videos, doing our research and trying to share stuff is just for you guys. And that's it. It's to try to help unlock humans' minds. This is the first time you've ever heard me talk really about myself. I just don't, because it's not important. And since 2017, nothing else is important but getting a message out.
But for the listeners, go check them out. Go check out RadX. Now, is it RadX 172? Is that your YouTube channel?
Yeah, RadX 172.
RadX 172. Check him out because, you know, he does very, very entertaining videos. I mean, he really weaves together lots of visuals with what he's talking about. I mean, I can tell, you know, I know how long it takes to edit something. So I really appreciate that work you're doing. And so go give him a follow, give him a listen, share him out to all your friends, you know, because when everyone's talking about the same darn thing, you know, ascension, vibration, blah, blah, blah. Here's a guy talking about a time hack. It's an interesting, different thing to think about. So give yourself a little treat. Take a side road off to RadX land, RadX 172 on YouTube.
And I've also shown that in my video.
Drop your link in there if you can. But
my videos are all. Look, guys, I am not monetized. I can't get $1 from YouTube, right, even if I got millions, because a lot of times I put copyright material in my videos, so right, I'll never get a dime. I don't ask for donations. I'm not selling anything, no selling information, nothing. Mm-hmm. This is literally all this work that I do is for the human race, the benefit of the human race, to unlock your minds. And I do it by showing you evidence. That's it. It's all showing you evidence. These aren't personal stories. This is evidence. Right? It's just stuff that you can all look up yourself. Like you just heard all the stuff on the corona. You can look all of that up yourself. And like when I say 9/11 could have been stopped, I'm gonna go through this list real quick, just on the 9/11. I won't go through the entire 1972 list. And what people need to understand is, when I say it's a time hack, and people say, well, a lot of stuff happened in a lot of years. Yes, I agree. A lot of stuff did happen a lot of years. But 1972, go ahead.
But before you get started on that, I just want to say I dropped a little link in the chat there. If you do feel like donating, I'm one of those kind of guys that I like to be able to pay my bills and maybe have an extra cup of coffee. So all the super chats go to help the channel. And also if you want to donate directly, there's my PayPal there, and also Cash App. And of course, the t-shirts, that's probably one of the best ways to do it, because then you're wearing it and you're sharing it and you're helping the awakening. And so.
Yeah, I love donating to your channel. In fact, I'm going to donate again before I get off here. I'm not saying that people who do get donations, stuff like that, or anything like that, that's bad. The reason why I am saying it is because I want people to understand that the information that I am giving to people is very honest and a point of a servitude point. My service to you, to humanity, by sharing this stuff to you, not asking for anything back. No likes, no shares, no subscribes, but to give you this information so you hopefully that your mind will be stimulated enough to be unlocked, because mine wasn't just unlocked because all of a sudden I just had an epiphany. It literally took an alien to come in my school and unlock my mind for me to see these things and for this stuff to be revealed to me. So it's not just because I was able to see it. I'm trying to help induce the same thing for you guys, to help unlock your minds by, if you take a hard look at the stuff and you look at it and you say, this is not possible that all these things could have happened. And once you start to say this is not possible that these things could have all naturally occurred in 1 year, then you start asking questions. And when you start asking questions, forget disclosure of somebody showing UFOs. Forget disclosure of an alien just walking down the road. If you force the government to talk about this 1972 time hack, it's over. It's over. The moment that they're confronted with the fact that it's not possible for all these things to happen in 1 year. Hell, even Linda Morton Howe brags about how her first big break was when she did the HBO special. Well, HBO was created in 1972 as the very first movie channel. 1972 HBO. So everything that you know, the longest year in history was 1972. Last time they went to the moon, whether you believe it or not, last time they went to the moon, it was 1972. Just so much stuff. But if you look at what happened with 9/11, it literally, if your mind could have been unlocked before 9/11, before 2001, and you could have saw all these things and put the dots together, you would have known that 9/11 was going to happen before it happened by evidence of 1 year, by 1972. In that year, 1972, the House Majority Leader Hale Boggs, you guys know what the House Majority Leader is. There's Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer. They're the House Majority Leaders. They're fourth in line to the presidency, right?
All right.
The House leaders are fourth. I think they're fourth in line to the presidency. Well, the House Majority Leader Hale Boggs disappeared in a plane in the year Wait a minute. Before I get started on that, I'm going to be doing a video, and I need to back up real fast. I'm going to be doing a video on the very first alien president. And you guys are going to think this is crazy, but Harry Truman created the CIA. First of all, what is the highest degree in the Masons, right? It's the 33rd, right? Well, he becomes the 33rd president through the death of a president, a sitting president. Because who was president? Who died? Roosevelt died, and then all of a sudden, this guy becomes the 33rd president. And Roswell, New Mexico happened when he was president. Yeah. Within a few months of becoming president, he's the only president in the world that dropped nuclear bombs. He dropped the 2 bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This man is not human. He created the Central Intelligence Agency. Listen to his resume.
Well,
he created the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
We didn't have an Air Force until he became president.
Yeah.
He was the first president to go into the what the hell is that called? The thing with all the.
How does that make him an alien, though, and not just a president that saw history was happening and took steps to?
I'm gonna reveal that in a video. I'm gonna show that through evidence in a video. I'm just sharing with you his overwhelmingly resume that changed the entire country.
All right, but before we get to that, though, someone in the chat asked, any thoughts on the symposium? Have you been paying any attention to this symposium?
What's that?
The Cyber Symposium put on by Mike Lindell.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, I've seen enough to be convinced myself. They have, the packets of information that they collected at the time. All of the election results, they have the original results before the tampering. It's pretty much cut and dry. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I just didn't want to let that hang there because that's something that's happening right now. And I know that right before.
What is it about? Explain it better.
Right before Code Monkey Z went on, I think today or yesterday, he was going to drop the source code for all the Dominion machines. And then someone was threatened. He was threatened or someone was threatened. And Mike Lindell was beaten up in one of the elevators there. It's quite something. I mean, it's quite something else. It's Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium, where he gathered together all these cyber experts who gathered all this information on election night. And it shows conclusively that the election was stolen and it was actually won by President Trump. And of course, everyone's trying to shut him down. And he was hacked at the beginning. I mean, it's been they're trying to shut him up, but he's spent $7 million of his own dollars to put this thing on. So I think it's very admirable of him to do this. It's quite something, actually. Quite something. That's a lot of pillows.
Oh, Mike. Oh, you're talking about Mike Lindell, the guy from My Pillows.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And he's definitely a patriot, and he's putting his money where his mouth is. He was deplatformed. He was he lost $1 million. He's been losing $1 million a day since they cut him off of all of the retail outlets that he was in. $1 million a day he's losing.
We were talking about this the other day about Trump getting back into office, and you were saying that he's got another chance to be voted back in 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they stole this election, what makes you think that they won't just steal the next one too?
Well,
so how does that make sense?
Well, because right now, with I'd say 80+% of the electorate wants voter integrity. And if candidates aren't talking about that and doing something about that, they're going to be out. And the people who are pushing that are going to be in. By the time 2024 comes around, we're going to get rid of all the Dominion machines, all the machines, go back to paper ballots where we can count them. There's accountability, and there's, a clear evidence of where these have been, and a forensic audit after every election. I mean, big corporations get audited every year. Our elections should be audited every year. You need to know that what's happening is really what's happening.
It just seems like this whole thing is like the carrot on the stick, right? Because we always keep hearing about there's going to be all these big changes, these things are going to happen, and people are going to get arrested, and people are going to get booted out, and all these moves are going to happen. And we've heard this for a very long time, many times, and yet none of that shit ever happens. And when Trump became president,
look who stepped down. Cuomo just stepped down, and Pelosi is going to announce her stepping down. So things are happening. And there's been thousands of arrests behind the scene. Thousands of CEOs have stepped down. And there's hundreds of thousands of sealed indictments still. 32,000 indictments have been unsealed, and those are being prosecuted as we speak. But there's many, many, many more. And the military has the last say in all this. And you're seeing the military stand up and saying no to the automatic jab. So that is a good thing to hear.
From what I heard, the military is split. So there's people in the military who are for one side, and there's people for the other side.
Yeah. Well,
there is no unity in this country.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Hey, Rat, I wouldn't say that. I think there's more unity now than there's been since 1776. And there wasn't much then either. Only like 10% of the population were the ones fighting for freedom. That's all we need. And we have way more than that, Rat. We have
I agree with that.
Way more than that. And when have you ever known there ever to be a mass exodus from any political party when you had the walk-away program from the Democrat Party, where millions of people, I mean, I think their Facebook page has something like 700,000 people who had their video testimonies of why they walked away for good from their Democratic Party. You've never seen something like that before. It's never happened. So the fact that a Democrat could win right after all these people left the Democratic Party doesn't make any sense. 30% of the people at the Trump rallies were Democrats. So it's way bigger than people think. People are just standing by, waiting patiently to do their part. And a lot of them are stepping up. A lot of them are running for office. Look at Jan Majewski over there in Ohio. He's running for office. He started by painting his lawn to look like a big Trump sign.
Yeah, I know. I'm here in Ohio.
Now he's running for office, and people all across the country are doing this.
The biggest Trump rally that they had recently was in Ohio. Yeah. I was actually literally 15 minutes away from that rally. I was going to go there, but I ended up going to the Serpent Mound instead.
Oh yeah, that was a great video. Watch that Serpent Mound video, folks. He's got a very cool video on that.
And just for people to know, I don't choose a side. You know that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't choose.
He's the
I don't
ultra
choose any. Yeah, I don't choose a side.
Radix is the ultra neutral. I choose sides less than I did before, but I have to say, after seeing what Trump did, I don't agree with everything that he does or says, but there's an awful lot that he did that I agree with, and I'm very grateful that he showed a lot of people how to be a good politician for the people, because we haven't seen an example of that for a very long time. I think maybe Ronald Reagan, he gave people a sense of patriotism. But Trump really stuck into the mainstream media. That's going to be his biggest, one of his biggest things, because people are not tuning into CNN. Well, well, it's past 11 o'clock, Rat. We didn't get our buddy to make it in. He's going to try next time. I want to thank you for calling in. I think we should probably close this down. And when can we look for your new video coming out?
Actually, I'm going to be putting out one tomorrow, and it's actually a video that some other YouTuber who quit YouTube about 10 months ago, and I just started watching his videos, and I was like, oh my God, his information is so good, but people just cause him so many problems. He just said, screw it, and he was done. This guy had a near-death experience when he was young, and it changed his whole life, and he just shares his information and stuff, but people, just kept causing him problems and trolling him, and he just got tired of dealing with it. He got tired of trying to reason with people and just putting out his message. And again, he's another person too who wasn't asking for any donations or anything like that, just putting out the message, but people causing problems. So he just said, forget it. He quit making videos. And I'm like, that's a shame. So what I did is I took a lot of his videos, and I'm working on it now, and I'm dressing them up a little bit and making it look a lot better, and putting some, effects to him, and putting a little bit of music in the background to help, get his message out, since this guy is gone, he's not around anymore. And I just putting out his message, so people can benefit from it.
That's great. That's great that you're doing that. I'm holding up something here right now. This is a prototype of the packaging for the time machine that I'm working on. Okay. So that's what it's going to come packaged in. Something like this, only they have graphics on it. Time machine that you can put in your own pocket. Imagine that. So
let me know when you get it done.
I will let you know. Boy, it's going to be, I know people say mass people doing mass time travel on a mass scale causes mass confusion. I say, let the confusion begin.
Yeah.
Let the confusion begin. Let's find out how we can go into the future and make a glorious new world for ourselves. Well, Abraham Lincoln said it best, I think. The best way to predict the future is to make it. If you make the future, then that's predicting it.
I like what Nixon said. I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook.
And what was Bill Clinton's? What was Bill Clinton's? I did not inhale.
Oh, I have a meme for that. You're gonna love this one. Okay. You're gonna love this one. Okay.
Somebody asked Harry Truman if he would like to have lobster, and he says he doesn't eat sea bugs.
Doesn't need what?
He said he doesn't eat sea bugs. When somebody asked him if he'd like some lobster for, sit down and have dinner with somebody, he said, I don't eat sea bugs.
Okay. Sea bugs. Yeah, I don't either. I think that's what they are. Okay, here you go. We never had sexual relations. She never even took off her mask. There you go. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I love it.
What a world, dude. What a country when a woman can become that famous for doing one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Back,
He made a lot of money.
Back when you had to take a knee to get anywhere.
She took two knees.
Still that way. Now look in his eyes. Can't you just tell he's a deviant now that we know him so well? Just look into those beady little eyes. You can just tell he's just not a good guy, you know?
Yeah, I think that all the presidents are one person up front and then there's somebody else behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But none of you will ever know that because not one of you will ever be invited behind those doors with them. And if you do, you probably won't survive to get out.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
So that's one of the memes that I slapped together. Kind of fun. Kind of fun.
Did you made that one?
Well, I saw the picture. Someone had already made it with the mask, but I added the words. So I took the half-done meme and I made it into a full-fledged meme with the words.
You know that there's something definitely wrong with the humans when there's people who are saying that they take the shot, they wear the mask, but yet they want you, but they're afraid that you're going to jeopardize their health because you're not doing those things. That just doesn't. It's like I don't understand how that doesn't make any sense. That's like saying if I wear a condom, you know. Like I'm protecting myself, but if you don't wear a condom, then you're not protecting. You're putting my sexual health in jeopardy. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And people are 100% on that. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's the upside down world that they're trying to push. That's what Satanism does. Satanism takes anything natural and subverts it. And but you know, we're making progress, and one of the things that this is an old meme I made from a while back, and I think it shows some of the hopefulness. And this is back when Liz Crokin was posting about all of the child trafficking protests all around the country. And I even had one myself up here in Sturgeon Bay, Save Our Children rally. So, yeah, there's great things happening. Awareness is happening. Half the battle is just waking up these normies. And, you know, events like that, where it's like right in front of their face, they can't deny it, you know? It's like planting a seed, and eventually it'll take root. If it doesn't take root, it was never meant to be for that person. But a lot of people say, you know, you got to forget about waking people up. I don't know. You know, I was asleep for a long time. I'm glad that I woke up.
How do you know you're awake?
Well, I'm waking up.
Because your version
today
of
I feel
the
awake.
Right one.
Tomorrow I might not feel like I was awake today. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and my future me might disagree with me there. So I don't know. My present me thinks that I'm semi-awake. But you know,
because people on the other side, they believe the same thing, right? Like that's why I don't choose a side, because both sides believe that they're 100% right, and both sides I think they're right for the other side. Yeah. Like if the other side can see my point of view and see it my way, they'll know it's the right way. Right. And that's never helped. That has not helped the human race get forward.
Right. And something about waking up too, it takes a long time. And you know, I don't know if I told you or not, but I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat anymore.
Yeah, I quit eating meat too recently. Actually, about 2 months ago. You know what happened? I don't mean to cut you off, but I was driving up a in the back roads where there's a lot of Amish people, and they have like, you know, all these, because this is Ohio, we have a lot of Amish here, and they had like there's this cows that was in this pasture that I was driving by, and there was this baby cow and this mama cow playing like a puppy and its mother, and I was just like, what the hell I didn't know that they played like that. Oh yeah. So I went on YouTube and I typed in cows playing, and I saw all these cows playing, and I was like, what the hell? I've never seen that ever in my life. Yeah. And then I started watching other videos where cows love to, if you sit down in front of a cow, a lot of times they will sit down next to you and put their head in your lap. They want a human's touch on them. And I was just like, I would never kill that. And then that was it. I was like, I'm not going to eat anything that I wouldn't kill. If I don't kill it, then why the hell should I benefit from eating from it? So I was done. I'm like, I'm not killing cows. I'm not eating cows. I'm
Good
not
for
killing
you.
pigs. I'm not eating pigs. I'm not killing chickens. I'm not eating chickens. But I've done a lot of fishing, so I'll still eat fish.
Yeah, that was the last meat. Fish and eggs were the last two things that I was eating. Now I've cut those out. But you know, I eat a lot of fruit. I think fruit is really, really good for you. I don't really eat a lot of vegetables. I eat fruit and oatmeal and things like that. But
And for those of you that know, you know, I used to be into bodybuilding too. And I tell you what, since I quit eating meat, and this is weird, in the past 2 months since I've quit eating meat, my testosterone has gone up, which is very strange. And I was just like, that's kind of the opposite what I always thought.
You know why?
The hormone suppressant that they're putting in the meat.
Yeah, yes, that too. They're putting all kinds of chemicals in the meat.
So,
but
yeah, you're
also,
taking that in, screwing you up.
Protein originates in plants.
Yeah.
So when you're eating meat, you're eating secondhand protein.
Yeah.
It's not as good for you. So you look at who are the strongest animals. Look at a horse. Look at the incredible strength of a horse, those muscles. That horse lives on grains, right? And grass. Oxen. Look how strong an oxen is. What does an oxen eat? Same thing, right?
Yeah. It seems like the meat eaters are, if you look at them in nature, it seems like the animals that are meat eaters just do a lot of laying around, a lot of lazing around.
Yeah.
And they get their meal and they're just done. They're like, I'm done for the day. I don't do anything. But you see these grazers, and the grazers are walking around all day long doing stuff. They're constantly doing things, you know. But the meat eaters just kind of eat and they're just done, and they just throw themselves to the ground.
Yeah,
you know?
that's interesting. I heard a story, maybe you heard this a couple years ago. This wild cat of prey, I don't know if it was a lion or a tiger or something like that, caught a baboon, killed a baboon, was bringing it up to a tree to eat it. And all of a sudden it noticed that there was a baby clinging to the mom. That cat raised that kid, that baboon. And a motherly instinct kicked in, and it didn't kill it. It raised it because it realized it was, wasn't an adult, therefore was innocent. I thought that was really an interesting.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's very, very. Animals are very amazing. They're just like us.
Here's something else I want people to keep in mind too. If you had telepathy and you were able to communicate with all animals telepathically, I think you would think again before you eat one of those animals, because you can actually hear their thoughts and have them plead with you and speak with you. It would definitely change everything. The moment that humans' minds are unlocked and the telepathy is unlocked, women will be able to communicate with the babies that are inside of the womb before they even give birth to the baby, which will probably pretty much end abortion right then and there. Also, just loosely having sex too will kind of just stop, because there'll just be too much involved. We're too mentally involved. Once the telepathy is actually opened up in humans, there won't be any more lying. There won't be any more stealing. There won't be any more cheating, because there just won't be no need for those things. And people already know what your intentions are. Exactly. And that would change everything on the planet, right? Like everything that humans definitely would start working. And this is why I'm trying to get humans to look at the 1972, to realize that your minds have been blocked. The problem is most humans' egos are just so big, and their arrogance to think that they're just so intelligent that, I already know everything I need to know, or whatever, they won't admit to the fact that their minds have been locked down. And a lot of stuff has just stopped you from getting there. It's just like programs in a computer. It's just the same thing, man.
Yeah. Well, and that was the example I was going to bring up before is, when I was a little kid, and I like most boys, I was infatuated with dinosaurs. I couldn't get enough of dinosaurs. You study the bones and like, okay, how do the scientists know what kind of food these dinosaurs eat? Oh, it's the teeth. Then I looked at the teeth and I realized, wait a minute, our teeth don't look like the meat eaters. Our teeth look like the grain eaters or the vegetarian or the herbivores. So that's when I was a kid. That's when I got the first little inkling that we weren't supposed to eat meat. And I always thought it was weird that we have to cook meat. Other kind of foods, you don't really have to cook before you eat them. But if you don't cook meat, you get sick. So that's an unnatural thing right there. And just imagine how difficult it was in the old times before refrigeration, how hard it would be to sell milk and meat to people, because it would have to be so incredibly fresh. It would be almost
if you can't pick it up and put it in your mouth and eat it, and it can, and it's nourishment to you, and actually you're able to keep going, then maybe something's not right. Something's not working out right. We're doing something wrong.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like you said, the teeth are designed for one thing.
Right. Yeah. Eating and grinding. Fruits and vegetables. And people say, oh, the incisors, that they're pointy, but that's to break open the skins of fruits, so it's not for biting through a cow. If you bit a cow, you'd break your teeth. So
so how I was saying, and I'll let you go here, but how I was saying that humans' minds, there are tons of blocks in your minds that stop you from seeing things and understanding things. And so looking at 1972 time hack, it's real basic just to look at. It's like, man, here's all the evidence. You can look at it, and still humans have a hard time. They know something's wrong, something's off. They know something's not right. Like, how is this possible? But then something in their mind blocks them from keep going further down that door. Something stops them. And what I'm trying to do is get them to crack that door open to actually see that your mind, once you start removing one block, this shit's going to come down like dominoes. Look, that's what I say about people not ready for the full disclosure. You might not even know what the hell you're looking at when you see it.
Yeah.
The stuff is the fact is that there's things there most people probably can't concept. And when they say, hey, here's all this stuff, humans may just look at that and go, okay, and then just go about their life, because this happened in 1952 when there was a bunch of UFOs over the White House. Why are people still freaking out talking about disclosure? Humans knew back then, Americans knew that there were UFOs over the White House, but all of a sudden that just went away. There's because your minds have been tampered with and you've been blocked. Look at the 72 time hack and start to understand it, so you can start opening the door and maybe getting these other blocks down. Once those things go down, you won't have to need an alien race to do things for you. It'll start working on its own, and telepathy will come in play. A bunch of different things will start happening for you, and things will just open up. You don't need to go take courses and pay for this and pay for that and have somebody try to tell you how to. You just need to just look at it and just let your mind open up. Look at the 72 time hack. Your mind has been blocked. It's basic. There's evidence right there.
Yes. Yeah. Give this guy a listen. Go subscribe to his channel, like his videos, and share them and get them out there. There's so many different ways to be woken up. And like I was trying to say with the dinosaur, with myself, I mean, I was a little kid when I figured out that we probably weren't supposed to be eating meat, but yet it took me into my 50s to actually, or 40s, to actually stop eating meat. I think I stopped somewhere in my 40s, but I'm 59 now. So.
And you figured that out as a child. That's because they put blocks in your mind after you become, as you grow from being a child. Other humans do it to you because they're already stuck into a slave mind status, which are all these blocks. And they unwillingly do it to you, and they don't know that they're doing it to you because they didn't know what happened to them.
And I was into bodybuilding too, as a, okay, I gotta push up. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like you're still building.
Well, yeah, well, I need some more Legos, I think, but
work in progress.
But yeah, and they always push bulk up and train down. Eat a lot of meat and potatoes and raw eggs in shakes in the morning. Ice cream, milk, and 2 raw eggs in a shake in the morning is what I would drink before my 4:30 Sunday morning paper route to go and deliver those papers and make sure that everyone has their paper.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out too, just I don't know if anybody's still listening, but look, the CIA, NSA, I am understudy from them, just so you guys know. Like everything, they literally have taken my world since 2017 and boxed me in. Like I can show you pictures of tons of people around me and all this stuff and how popular it was. But after that happened, that was it. I started noticing like a whole bunch of things were happening where people were just going away. And I didn't start talking about all this stuff in 1972 and all those things until January of 2020. So they had already started boxing me in and doing things to me to monitor me and everything else. And you heard the story when 1010 came on here. She told you, look, the lady that brought us out there, she definitely was NSA or CIA. She was one or the other. You know, it's just in the fact of where we were at, and you guys can see all that stuff too. There's video of all of that. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to help the human race get to move forward, and that's it. My days are definitely numbered. Every day I wake up, it's like, wow, I'm surprised that I'm still here. I'm surprised I still have my freedom. Every day, that's my life right now since 2017, since my experience that I had with the alien.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy it while you got it. Enjoy everything that you got, because you know that's why they call it the present, because it depends on how you open it up, right?
Yeah,
right?
I don't live in a state of depression or anger or anything like that. Actually, it's on the contrary, it's the complete opposite for me. The only frustration I have is trying to unlock other humans' minds to help them. But if the moment I walk away, I would, from trying to do that and trying to help the other humans, everything would be, you know, I would have no more frustrations. That's my only frustration, is that. That's it. I find it bizarre that people just literally can't see the train coming down the track. And one other thing too, and some of you might not agree with this, but whatever, any person who tells you that they have alien contact and they're trying to push a political agenda on vote for this guy or that guy, run like hell, get away from them, because there's no high intelligent alien species out there going to choose a political party in this system. If they do, you're in a lot of trouble, because you may say, well, you know, because for your guy, but what if they go for the other guy, right? Like, what if all of a sudden the alien presence, you know, all of a sudden these aliens pop up and they're all Democrats, you know, and they have all this crazy power over everybody, you know, or if you're the opposite and you're a Democrat and you're all Republicans, you know. So yeah, anybody who says anything about a political agenda and it's attached to any type of alien, run away.
Yeah. On the screen right now is something, I'm not sure if this exists or not, but it's sure is a good idea. Something you can grow food and herbs in your kitchen. I think this is the wave of the future. I think products like this are going to be huge. And another one I think I've shown this to y'all before, but maybe there's some new people in the audience that haven't seen my breakthrough discovery on the Atacama being. Yes, I've broken it wide open, folks, and solved 2 mysteries in one. And so, yes, who is the Atacama being and where did Beavis go? Well, haha, there you go. Mystery solved. There it is. Same proportions. Take a look at that, folks.
I actually love that. I used to love that show.
I know, it's so funny.
MTV is not even music television anymore. What the hell happened?
Yeah, well, it wasn't music television the second year after they were in existence, when they started doing stupid shows and not doing. You know,
Real World destroyed it.
Me and my friends did a show back in 1992. You can see vestiges of it on my Space Cadets videos, called XTV, Extreme Television, Minnesota's only music video showcase, where we had music videos from Minnesota artists, and we played like a VJ, just like on like MTV was supposed to be. Just the VJ introducing the music and the music video. That was it. That's all we had. And it was great. People loved it. But well,
yeah, I was born and raised on Daytona Beach, and when all that stuff was going on, the big spring break thing on on MTV. That happened, right? I was there for that. I was in high school when that was going on. We're skipping class and going over to the beach side, going, hanging out, watching downtown Julie Brown sitting on the park bench. Kirk Loder over there talking to band. It was really amazing to be there when that was going on.
Yeah, I bet that must have been pretty cool.
All that's gone now.
Yeah. So, folks, this is one of the designs you can get on my what do you call it? My store, my brand new store that I'm so excited about.
That's a handsome looking model.
You think? Well, it's the only guy I could find in a short notice.
Must have paid a pretty penny.
Well, free actually. Yeah, it was totally.
You got lucky.
Totally free. Yeah, I got.
How old were you in that picture?
In that picture, that was just about a year ago, year and a half ago.
That was last year.
Year and a half ago, maybe. Yeah, I was working. I was in Madison, working at a website place called Town Web.
It's a good picture.
Thanks. Yeah,
it looks like a professional headshot almost.
It was. We had
okay.
That was our little gimmick. We were taking free photographs of everybody, all these clerks, these city clerks, and so they all got free photographs. So it was kind of cool. And I got one too because I was working there, and so I was very happy about that.
Yeah, when I got into the acting and modeling world, you wouldn't believe the snobbish people, like if you don't have like a really, like I had to use Bob Lasky, and his headshots are expensive. And if you didn't use a good they would know when they see the headshots. And it was that was the hardest thing, was trying to get agents. Trying to get an agent, that was not easy.
Right.
But yeah, and that's how I knew that was a headshot that you got there.
Well, that's why I have a secret agent. Secret agent. All right. Well,
all right, buddy.
I got to thank you again for calling in. You made the show. Thanks so much for helping and trying to get our other friend, Mr. 17, on. Maybe next time for him. But until next time, folks, watch for our next program. And Andy's going to be back on the 5th, so tune in then. And we'll have more exciting shows and guests coming up very soon. Take care. Good luck, God bless, and peace in.